So we have a very interesting matchup here. Two not new commanders, but still reasonably new. We have the Marchesa and we have the Sheoldred. And yeah, I think the Sheoldred has outperformed what I thought it would do, but that's also because the quality of black cards has increased in the last couple of years, and Marchesa is one of those cards where I feel like it it's a very classic Grixis card.
Yeah,
it feels very much like a kind of new take on Kiss, where it grants you card advantage, but at the risk of deploying it to the battlefield and having it removed, and if that's the case, then you are very behind on tempo.
I think it's a cool card design. Definitely brings back Grixis in the command zone. We haven't featured it on the channel yet.
Oh, we have a Guru Island.
Oh yeah.
Also a very, very valuable surveil there, putting a Pyroblast into the graveyard when that card is not going to be relevant.
Absolutely. Cool signature on a Pyroblast. So I like the Pimp grade already. There is a Sign in Blood played by Sheoldred. And yeah, Martin was just playing Sheoldred in our latest focus session. Close games, not too successful against the 3, but still I think very nice, very nice sessions. Head over to our channel and check that out. Samuel played some fancy humor list. I brought up my Lara, and we also had Aminato Reanimator covered again.
Yep.
Yeah, Marchesa is a deck that we definitely should pick up also. But frankly, there are so many command zones. We could do this all night and day. Especially because Outlaws of Thunder Junction brought a couple of relevant cards for the command zone. I still haven't shown my Brizzly.
Oh, that hasn't been on cam yet. Okay,
yeah, I mean it got now with MH3 it has like 3 or 4 new upgrades. We will definitely do that at some point.
I mean, Brizzly's also going to play 6, right?
Yeah, sure. Actually, I've included 6. I have included the new Fanatic of Ronas, the Dork that adds 4 mana if you have a creature with power 4.
Yeah, that card is very strong.
Super easy to enable with the counters you make with, like, you just have one fetch and you have a creature with power 4 already.
Also, I think one card that's probably going to be pretty good is, did you see the 2 mana guy that plots for 2? And when he's plotted, he gives a creature +3/+2 and trample.
Is this a creature or isn't it a...
It's a creature. It's a 3/2 trampler that you can plot for 2. And when he's plotted, he gives a creature +3/+2 and trample till the end of turn.
Maybe I missed that one.
I think it should be here, right? No, never mind, it's not.
So what is the card called that the... Is it Dark Offering? No, it's not Dark Offering.
That's a oh my god, that card is so bad.
Yeah, it is. 6 mana.
That is literally like the worst spell I've ever seen.
What do we have on field? It seems to be a sword. Some kind of a sword. It's definitely...
No, that's an ensnaring bridge.
Ah.
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw that it's some Lord of the Rings. It's that variant, right?
Invert Polarity is one of those cards. I think it's crazy strong.
Oh, Invert Polarity, yes.
Yes, I think that's probably going to find a home in many decks.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this card is just ridiculous. Yesterday we had more like a aggressive Marchesa variant played in the tournament. Now it seems to be more like a control version. You have more or less the best cards featured in your color combination.
Looking at this
Orcish Bowmaster is absolutely ridiculous. Interesting that he plays Temple of False God, by the way.
Absolutely. I was about to say, I think that's one of the craziest includes that I've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
And a control deck.
But this guy has all the cool signatures on his cards.
He does. He does.
So there is Marchesa. On the other hand, by the way, a Necropotence. Very, very strong card in Sheoldred. Like, holy smokes. I'm very sure he also plays Necrodominance.
Well, Necropotence doesn't draw the cards.
It doesn't matter. It's just about your card draw is going to negate the life loss from Necropotence.
Okay.
So you always get to refill your hand. A Meat Hook Massacre. Nice. We haven't seen that one for a while.
He could trade Marchesa for a card.
Yes.
He could. I mean, Orcish Bowmaster for a card.
But you sacrificed your Bowmaster for that essentially.
Yeah.
So next turn there will likely be, and now there is the Bowmaster.
Yeah.
Before the cards go into hand. Okay, so there's a Chaos Defiler that will probably take care of the Necropotence. Bridge is not too powerful right now. With all that many cards. But yeah, getting back to the Izzet counterspell, it's hilarious. Like, that's what a cancel has to look like these days, right?
Yep.
Gaining control of a spell based on flipping a coin.
It's going good so far. I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. I think I'm not even going to try. Yeah, I think we had a very
just call him Manja. The last few letters are easy.
Well, okay, Manja. We had a very interesting round 2. So this is round 3. We had a very interesting round 2 where the Aragon player lost game 2, basically based on a misplay or based on not quite knowing how the rules work. And game 3, it looked like he was going to lose because of that. But the Stickfingers player ran out of mana, and now we're here. That was a very strong Hunter Turok. I think it removed the Chaos Defiler, right? If I saw that correctly.
Yeah.
But if he untaps with the Marchesa, he's in a very good position to.
I think so too. Yeah.
To refill his hand.
So right now, I don't really see. Why he didn't play Marchesa yet? What is that card? Seems to be an alteration.
No, that's the new. Put a card on top and then draw.
Also from Outlaws, right?
Yeah, yeah.
How is it called?
Not sure.
Maybe you can check real quick.
God.
I think it's CMC 0, right?
No, CMC 1.
Oh, right. Black, and then you add the spree plus, or how it's called.
We're doing this cycles.
Also cool to see the more and more often we see the Orborg, like the original cycle of legendary lands.
Because they commit crimes.
They commit crimes here, and they also committed crimes in Nadu. That's why people played Tolaria and Pendelhaven.
Yeah, yeah.
Which was also something you didn't see before.
The card is called Insatiable Avarice.
Or can you just send me?
Okay.
Send me in Discord.
Yeah.
I was talking about the name. But I got it, I got it. Insatiable, here we go. Good card.
I mean, the fact that it does it without life loss is pretty cool. I think it's interesting how much Wizards has been experimenting with black tutor abilities in the last couple of years, where it was pretty dry for a long time. Where I think I'm not quite sure of the whole timeline, but like, Beseech the Queen was a rare reprint of the tutor ability at some point, and then there wasn't much better than Diabolic Tutor for a long time.
Yeah, right. So chat just asked for the. I'm pretty sure you're talking about the equipment that reanimates creatures, right? That's a pre-war formal wear. I just showed. You're welcome. So we have a Relic of Progenitus on the field, Orcish Bowmaster with a token, Ponder in hand.
A rampant crime committer, that Relic of Progenitus.
Yes.
Which might also, incidentally be good against a possible Yawgmoth's Will Tendrils line from the Sheoldred player.
Or also against Emrakul, which is very popular in France, right?
Yeah. I mean, with 7 lands on the battlefield, he's got to pop the Relic pretty soon in order to prevent just like a random cast of Emrakul. Ponder into Expressive Iteration is probably going to let him hit his land drop and still have interaction, which is going to be pretty strong. Considering Marchesa is off the board again. Oh, he's cracking the Relic, okay.
Who's the artist of Relic of Progenitus? What is it? Jean-Sébastien Rosbach. Interesting. Because the signature looks so cool. I've never seen it.
Who?
This artist made almost no relevant cards. Oh no, Edge of Autumn actually.
Water Post.
Water Post?
The red Water Post? Or red,
yes, true. And the Dragon Blood Mother, which was relevant back in the days when you played Standard of Alara Reborn. Amazing.
When you played Standard of Alara Reborn.
You didn't?
No, I started.
Right, you started later. Right.
With Theros.
Right. Also a cool standard set to start with.
Yes.
It
was a very cool time to get into Magic because there was a lot of lore around the Ravnica set and then around. So it was very cool to deep dive into that standard season, and I like there was some really cool decks in Standard with like Esper Control and like Blue Devotion and these kind of Naya aggro decks.
Yeah, I like the set design around enchantment creatures and all that stuff. I think it's pretty cool. Still, I enjoyed Zendika the most because back in the days, mythic rares were already arrived in Magic, but this I will never forget the feeling of cracking the booster and you had this Lotus Cobra inside, and the foiling was so crazy and it had like this childish feeling, you know.
Yeah.
Nowadays, you just order the cards that you want. It's like, okay, and then they arrive.
And like a foil mythic is cool, but it's not like...
It's not as cool as back in the days. No, not at all.
Yeah, so notably with this Wretched Sorrow, he's going to be able to prevent the Orcish Bowmaster token from attacking and kill the Orcish Bowmaster, so Marchesa is essentially out of the damage dealing game for a while now. And we're going to need to see a commitment to...
So there's the Necrodominance, but Necropotence and Necrodominance.
Yeah, so Necrodominance is definitely the stronger card in this matchup.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're going to see a Sheoldred bounce, I'm guessing, yeah. Oh, he has... That's cool. Yeah, he's bounced the Sheoldred so that he has 5 cards in hand and is able to attack through the Ensnaring Bridge.
But only for one turn.
Only for one turn. But also if he decides... I mean, his maximum hand size is 5. And if he decides to, replay Sheoldred and then draw up to 5 with the Necrodominance trigger, yeah.
It's a bit awkward that the Necropotence doesn't circumvent the maximum hand size thing.
What are we looking at here? I don't know what that spell is.
Which spell?
I've seen it before.
Memory Jar, and the other one is Logic Knot.
Some form of counterspell.
Logic Knot. Yes, okay. Here you see. That's the new artwork from Time Spiral.
That is a weird artwork, but I guess.
I think it's cool. I like it.
Yeah.
But I like the original one much more.
Yes.
But yeah, this one is also cool.
Yeah,
like the red splash, like the thing the wizard is going to do, almost looks like a signature from far distance if you don't know what the card is.
Yeah, true.
There is a slow land, the black-red one, I think, in dark edged whatever foiling, I think it looks like.
Yeah, so we see all mana has been spent, and we're in the same, nearly the same situation as last turn. He could spend 7 mana for his commander.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what the best line here is, but I'm guessing it's probably play Marchesa, bounce Sheoldred, and commit a crime with that.
It's very, very difficult, to be honest. One thing I really like about Marchesa is that it doesn't, it's not drawing cards, it's actually putting cards, or looking at cards and putting them into hand. So you don't get taxed by Sheoldred and Bowmaster and all these things. Are we excited for Bloomburrow? I'm honest, I like the fact that, to me it looks a bit like a Lorwyn-ish set, with all the new
tribal stuff,
tribal things and fancy cool cards, like also a lot of fancy cool commander cards and whatsoever. But I'm really, that's a Damnation. No, that's a Thoughtseize. I think that's one of those weird secret layer artworks. Sorry, I was.
Yeah, that's the what's his name?
This one here, secret layer whatsoever.
Junji Ito, that's the one.
Yeah.
Very famous mangaka.
Ah, okay, I didn't know that. I mean, it looks cool, but the card is too much for me. Bloomburrow, the thing is that there's too much content. Like, honestly,
I feel like we're still shell shocked from Modern Horizons, and now the Assassin's Creed set has already dropped, and
we haven't even had, like, there was no proper time to adapt to, or like to give a try to all the different cards from the last standard set. Then there's Modern Horizon 3 crushing in. Oh, there's a Eugen hitting the battlefield that will seal the deal, it seems. Sometimes we also pick up new things, or like lists from MTG Top 8 and
exactly, and I mean, when you pick up a list from like a tournament deck list that maybe won a tournament, or that placed in the top 8 of a tournament, there's a minimum standard for those kind of decks.
Yeah,
and we might go into those deck lists a little less critically than we would if one of us or one of our friends had just brewed a list and said, "Oh, I'm going to be trying this. It's going to be different than taking a list off top 8." But also when you for a lot of lists, when you look at them on top 8, and they're of a new commander, or they're of a player that, or like a smaller tournament or something, we see cards and we think, okay, you could play that card, but there's probably better cards that, or there might be, a different card that deserves it more to be in the list.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
and so going to a weekend of recording with just freshly brewed lists is okay, but if we realize halfway through the recording that we're missing cards that we should be playing that we aren't playing,
Yeah.
that always kind of feels bad, because we're not showcasing what the deck could be capable of.
Yeah, like having the best or a decent quality at least of the list you're presenting.
This is a very powerful play
Oh,
against the
that's
Marchesa
so
list.
cool. We have a Spells Guide and there is a Winter Moon coming up. Awesome. Really, really awesome.
So this...
We just talked about it in game 1. How much impact this card could have in our format.
Yep.
Just to close on the topic regarding all the sets, and is this a Turbo Orb? Yes. Bro, this is deep, man. I think it's this variant. This must be a Turbo Orb, yeah.
Yep.
Wow. So the thing is, with all the sets, I just said to Marcus yesterday, I think we arrived at a state in which we really need to focus at one deck for a longer time. Not only like to have a good quality of presenting a deck, but also because you cannot follow all the different cards. There is simply no time to test all the decks. Even like back in the days, we haven't had like... Currently there is a summer pause here regarding tournaments, but usually we are doing some boot camps, and even then you cannot do a boot camp every weekend. It's just too much.
Yep. All right. So Droid That Swamp has I think has put Marchesa in a much better position. This is a Dark Petition being cast.
But where does the additional mana come from? Because he was tapping 4 only.
He played a Cabal Ritual, but he's put 3 mana in his mana pool. I think... Does it not trigger off 3?
Yeah, but there's... No, 2. But there's a Thoughtseize and a Cabal Ritual in graveyard, so that's fine. So Dead of Winter with 4 snow permanents on field. Dealing with Marchesa and the Spells Guide, that's pretty good. The Fury is kind of useless against Sheoldred. By the way, where's the commander? I hope it's not in the deck.
That's true.
Grim Tutor.
Something that I'm not sure Benjamin has noticed, which he could have done, is exiled his Lightning Bolt to put a Fury into play, because the Evoke trigger isn't going to trigger with a Torpor Orb on the battlefield. And then he just has a 3/3 double striker for 0 mana.
That's true.
Maybe he doesn't want to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, even if there's no Turbo Orb, you can't get rid of Sheoldred with the Fury. I think he really forgot to... I think he really shuffled Sheoldred into the command zone, into the library, I mean. It would be...
What's also interesting is that, well, I mean, not interesting, but like sandbagging the Fury here is probably not really correct, because even if you draw removal for the Torpor Orb, probably want to be destroying the Winter
Moon, yeah.
The Winter Moon, as opposed to...
We have an Orcish Bowmaster, so there is Sheoldred.
Oh no, it just came from the left side. It just wasn't on the mat.
Yeah. The judge's rule, it depends on the judge and it depends on the event. So this one here is highly competitive and there's like a huge prize pool to it. So I would assume that this would be a... how do you call it?
Warning?
It could even be a game loss. because it's a illegal deck representation. How's it called? I'm missing the professional, the technical term right now. But I've seen some people getting a warning for it. Then the judge is going to get it out without changing the order. But I've also seen people getting a game loss for it. So it really depends.
Yeah, so we see an Otawara on the Winter Moon.
And now it would be
feels
interesting.
Very bad.
Yeah, definitely.
So like he has a logic knot in hand again, so he's probably gonna logic knot it on the way down. But the clock, he's on a 2-turn clock. Don't know if he's taking the damage from the card draw of the Sheoldred, but there's just a lot of pressure going on
Passing
here.
the turn, okay, interesting.
Also drawing a card with so this is a GG.
Yeah.
Might look different if he had put the Fury into play at some point, but I'm not sure he knew about that.